DK's Take starts in
3. Well, I like school, and I like football, and I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good. 2. Oh, it's over! It's over, ladies and gentlemen! 1. Are you ready?
We're going to start it off with the guy, the advocate. How you doing today?
What's going on, man? New year. Let's get it.
New year. Yes, new year. You know how we start the show off. We're going to start with the Cowboys corner. Oh, Avo, man. You know, how good does it feel to be, watching football again?
Hey, it is great, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for the night. I definitely can't wait for Sunday. Getting the man cave ready, getting the drinks ready, just getting everything ready, man. I just can't wait, man. Every week is a holiday, man, on Sunday, so I can't wait.
Every week is a holiday when it's football season. Some of the best weeks of my life. I enjoy it. Now that I live in Nebraska, it's super cold compared to living in Texas. So, that's about the only downside to this. But at the end of the day, it's football season. So let's get to it. Cowboys corner. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's go ahead. And I'm going to, state the question to you. And then I'll let you come back and, give me what you're going to say. And then I'll follow it up. So starting off with the Zeke contract. Was it a 6-year, $90 million extension?
Yep.
All right, so go ahead and tell me what you think about this new Zeke contract and the holdout and all that.
It's a no-brainer. I'm good with it. I wish I got it done earlier, so he would have had some reps, because after watching him, I noticed that even though he can look in shape, it's going to take a couple games to chip the rust off. And, I feel like one reason why I feel like these dudes get hurt so much every year is because they don't have them practices like they did in the mid-2000s and the 90s, where these guys are conditioned to being hit. And that's the only thing that makes me nervous. I wish it got done before. But, look, man, it's a no-brainer. First off, he is the best running back. I don't care what anyone else says. 2, that whole offense is catered around him, not the quarterback, not the receivers. He's the engine in that vehicle that drives everything, and he needed to be paid. I just wish they got it done earlier, but I ain't mad at it. And I also think, even though he's the highest-paid running back, for him, like I said, to be the driving force in that offense, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. So I'm with it. I'm glad, and I'm glad that's taken care of.
All right, so my thoughts on the whole Zeke contract and everything like that. All right, so, it's tough for me, but then again, it's not. It had to be done. I mean, it's Zeke Elliott. He's the focal point of the offense. I mean, he's led the league in rushing the last 2 to 3 years. In the year that he didn't lead the league in rushing, he led the league in yards per game. So, I mean,
Yep.
the guy's going to get the carries. The guy's going to get the yards. The only bad thing about this, because it's now 8 years that Zeke is going to be a Cowboy, quote unquote. So the only bad downside to it is Zeke is the only running back that's had over 300 touches over the last 3 seasons. Nobody else has come close to it. So, I mean, that's one of the downsides. So I guess they're going to run him to the ground, but at least he's getting paid. There's also clauses in the contract if he gets in trouble that they can kind of void the contract. And I'm pretty sure that's what took so long for this contract to get done, because, you have to go into the fine print. We see 6 years, $90 million extension, but inside the meat and potatoes of the contract, the stuff that no one sees, is all the clauses that they had to get, taken care of and whatnot. It's stretched long enough, but it got done, and I'm happy to get it done. I'm glad to have Zeke back. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let him do too much here on Sunday, but at the same time, I think that he's going to get about 25 opportunities to be on the field and whatnot. I'm pretty sure Pollard's going to have a huge role. Moving on,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say 2 things. The one thing I'm worried about him with, which I saw last year, and him not getting the real reps. I mean, I don't care if this dude was down in wherever he was in Cancun with Marshall Falk, like drinking drinks and, having his little scrimmages on the beach. Look, man, I'm just worried about him fumbling, because last year that was the only thing I noticed that was trending with him, which was bad, was his fumbles. And I'm just worried, I'm just worried with them clawing at him that might be an issue in the beginning. As far as everything else, man, look, as far as him getting the touches, I'm not like, I know a lot of people say you don't overpay on a running back, this and that, but this team is different, man. They're built to run, and I think he's going to be here all these years, even with them touches. And if the offensive line is good like they're supposed to be, then it'll lighten the load a lot on him. So I ain't mad at it at all. I actually think it was really, really well done.
The only thing that I worry about is you think of, I mean, he's in way more shape than Dez Bryant. The only thing I worry about is the soft tissue injuries. He hasn't been playing at a football speed. He hasn't been in practice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I worry that he could, tear a hamstring or tear a groin or pull a quad.
That's why I wish they got it done earlier.
Yeah, the soft tissue injuries, those are the injuries that you worry about. And I kind of worry about that, so I hope they don't overuse him and just let him get into the role, but at the same time, just kind of use him as more of a decoy and run Pollard a little bit more. All right, moving on.
Dude,
Go ahead.
They're more than stacked at running back. I mean, they got Alfred Morris and they got what's his name?
Pollard.
So I'm good. Is good, and I think against the Giants, which their offense is, without talking about them too much, their offense is going to be improved even without Beckham, in my opinion. But their defense is horrible, so they should be able to pound that rock all day with who's ever behind there. So hopefully, like you said, man, it'll be limited reps where he can get his feet wet and we can still get the W.
All right, moving on to the next part of this segment. How do you feel about the Jalen Smith and Leo Collins contracts?
Bro, I know this is going to baffle you, man, and I'm the most pessimistic, realistic Cowboys fan there is. But I'm good with it. I'm really good with all the contracts. Look, my main thing was I didn't want Dak to be signed. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone is drinking the Kool-Aid. I remember stuff, bro. I remember during the losing streak last year, the same people in the Dallas media and all the media who were praising him right now, saying he should be paid, I remember they were asking Romo on the radio if he could still throw passes. I don't forget that, man. And I remember those 300-yard games. How many of those throws were outside the numbers and what was it? I'm so happy with what they did contract-wise, and I'm glad he doesn't have a deal right now, and I hope he doesn't get one. He needs to prove it this year. And there's nothing against him. I think he's a great leader and everything like that. But he don't have the mechanics, and this coaching staff doesn't know how to utilize his strengths. So I'm happy with everything, bro. Serious.
So I love the extension of Jalen Smith and Collins to kind of set the standard, especially with the Jalen Smith contract, because Jalen Smith is a leader in that locker room. He's a leader in that defense. And you want to pay those guys like that to keep the locker room together. Another thing I like about the extensions is what I've noticed what the Cowboys are doing, they're giving long contracts, not the 3 to 4 year. They're doing the 5-year plus contracts, which is stretching the money out. So the way it's looking to me is that they're going to end up being able to pay Dak, Amari, and Byron Jones. They're going to be able to bring everybody back next season. The thing is whenever Leighton Vander Esch is up and Michael Gallup is up, I mean, they got to bring back Anthony Brown. They want to use Anthony Brown. Awuzie is a free agent next year. Lewis is a free agent next year. So we're going to see how all that money shapes up. But I feel like the Cowboys are going all in on this. And also with Leo Collins, a lot of people are not real high on Leo Collins. I like Leo Collins. He's a solid right tackle. I think he's a solid right tackle. I think he's better than Doug Free for sure. Doug Free had no athleticism whatsoever.
Doug Free, the end of the rope, Doug Free.
Man, all of the Doug Free. Me personally, all of the Doug Free.
I don't know.
I just feel like you just gotta see. Just look closely. Leo Collins has a mean streak. He can get off. He's just not consistent. That's the issue with Leo Collins is the consistency.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I think his contract wasn't backbreaking.
It wasn't, and they opened up $5 million in cap space too.
Exactly. I think him and Smith's contract were team-friendly, fair, and I'm good with it, dude. I mean, this is the first time going into the season where I'm like, yo, what did they do?
Hold on one sec. Austin, I'll get to the Chiefs whenever I talk about the NFL. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I'm pleasantly satisfied with the contracts that they've doled out so far and the ones they haven't. I mean, dude, how could I not be? I've been since what has it been, like 9 years? I've been saying we need a new coach, right?
Mhm.
They didn't extend him, and I'm not sold on Dak. And
See, the way that
they
you
didn't-
see
they
now that
didn't,
you
extend him, so I'm good.
it's all about the boys in the beginning, just the beginning. See, now that you're speaking about Dak, let's move on to the next question. How long before Dallas pays Dak, in your opinion? Not what you want. How long is it going to take until they do?
After he wins the Super Bowl? No. Listen, man. It would have to be next season, and in my opinion, he needs to.
We're not talking about what your opinion is. I want to know what you think the Cowboys are going to do.
Oh, what they're going to do?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they'll probably win 2 games and then do it because they get all amped up and believe they're hype, which you've seen stupid stuff like that before. But I do feel like they have been a lot more cautious than before. And even though they say all the right things about Dak, I feel like they're trying to give it one more year. And I mean, if it's true, this guy wants $40 million or anything more than 30, he needs to show and prove, man. And I don't know if it was old Cowboys, I get in the spur of the moment. I could see him doing it week 3 series, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll go to the end of the season, and it should.
I think Dak's going to get paid in a couple weeks, man. They're going to probably start off 2-0. And I think it's already in motion to get Dak paid. I think they want to get Dak paid before the season started, but, the whole Zeke thing came about, and that kind of shifted towards Zeke, and they made sure they got Zeke paid. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to pay Dak, and they're going to pay him before the season's over, definitely before the bye week at week 8. They're definitely going to pay him.
That would just be so dumb business-wise. It really would.
Well, I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league, and like I always say, I just don't see another quarterback out there better than Dak. But that's a debate for another day. We'll see how week 1 goes, and then we will revisit this conversation right here. All right, so now to what me and you've been waiting to talk about. So we haven't talked about this. I mean, for those who don't know, me and Avo, we talk pretty consistently. We talk about the Cowboys all the time, but we have not yet told each other what we think the Cowboys' record's going to be and how far they're going to go if they make it to the playoffs. So your thoughts on how the season will play out, and then give me a final record.
Well, I see a 9-7.
That's it, just 9-7.
9-7.
9-7.
Yeah.
In or out the playoffs?
I'm sure during the last 2 weeks they'll be 7-9, and they'll do a little rally to give Jason Garrett his winning season.
You mean 7-7?
What's that?
I mean, the last few weeks they'll be 7-7, and then win it out to have a winning record.
Yeah. You got it. Whoa, yeah, it's been a long day, man. They'll be 7-7. Then they're going to do their typical rally. Then the last week they're going against a team who's probably already who they played last week.
I don't know. I looked that up as you're talking real quick.
Is it Philly or is it? I think it's the Giants. I don't know. Well, I just feel like we got a tougher schedule. I'm not sold on this coach. I'm definitely not. I mean, I have yet to see what Kellen Moore is going to bring, but him being the quarterback coach was very lackluster, so I can't see him coming in, turning into like a mad genius right now.
We end the season week 16 against Philly, then week 17 against the Redskins.
Okay. I mean, look, dude, I think they're pretty much going to straddle an 8-8, over 500 or under one game. It's going to be close. I just feel like they'll bump one up like they did, before and make it look, put lipstick on a pig. I think they're going to end up 9-7.
All right, so this is how I think the season's going to play out. I think the Cowboys are going to start off 3-0. I mean, they're going to come out and they play the Giants, the Skins, the Dolphins. Those should be 3 wins. If this is a Super Bowl contending team, quote unquote, then this team should come out 3-0. Then in the next 4 weeks, they play the Saints, the Packers, the Eagles, and the Jets in a 4-week span. This is going to tell us a lot about who Dallas really is. I think they come out 2-2 in that and go into the bye week at 5-2. And I think the Cowboys will end up being 10-6 and get a wild card spot.
You think the Eagles are going to be better than the Cowboys?
I think the Eagles are going to win the division.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's so tough with the NFC because the AFC, you have like your top like 3 to 5 teams, but in the NFC, you probably have like 10 teams that could probably make the playoffs.
So you're predicting Carson Wentz is going to be healthy all the games?
I mean, I'm not predicting he's going to be healthy. I mean, he hasn't been, but if he is, the Eagles are going to win the division. If not, the Cowboys are going to win the division. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. See, here's my thing, man. When I look at it on paper, I feel like the Cowboys have a way better team than the Eagles. But the guy who's steering the ship always ends up in the iceberg. You know what I'm saying?
I love your metaphors.
He gets credit for backing out of the iceberg, and you know what I mean? I just feel like they're the better team and they should win it, but it just doesn't always pan out that way.
All right, so moving on to Sunday, 3:25 Central Time, 4:25 Eastern, your time. My boy Avo's in New York. I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska, but we both root for the Cowboys. Cowboys play the Giants, one of the division rival right there, and it's just a game we cannot lose at all.
Can you imagine that?
Could you imagine coming out and losing that game? It would be hellfire and brimstone.
With no defense, oh my God.
Yes, with this defense. And they have really one offensive weapon because Eli Manning is starting. So I
wouldn't be surprised, though.
Because Eli does play kind of good against Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
So,
well, he's definitely going to be now with, this other guy gunning for his job. So
he's going to have to turn up or he's going to lose his job for sure. So just give me your thoughts on what the Cowboys have to do offensively and defensively, and give me a final score and who wins.
Okay. I just want to start by saying if we lose it, I wouldn't be surprised in the least. But that's
wow.
But I think
I would be very surprised.
If I'm putting my chips on the table, I think we're going to win it. I think we're going to win 24-17. And look, man, it's simple, dude. They have to absolutely shut down Barkley. That's it. And we need a pass rush, which it's there sometimes, and then I don't know what happens, bro. Like, I don't want to see any more tweets from DeMarcus Lawrence about Eli Manning unless he's, sacking him multiple times. So I if we can shut down Barkley, man, it should be easy. As far as what we got to do, that defense is so light. I mean, who strikes fear in you on the Giants defense right now?
I mean, really no one.
I mean, who? This should just be. They should just chew that clock up, bro. I mean,
it should be like a 35-38 to like 14-17 game. It really should with that defense. It should, but we know how the Cowboys.
They'll find a way to keep it close. Probably give up like a kick return or something. The typical stuff where I'm texting you like,
Yeah, so you don't say it'd be halftime and it'd be like 14-17 at halftime, and you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Look, man, it's simple, bro. Just as long as the offense can grind it out and just that defense is going to be so bad, man. And if they could just chew them apart and just make them tired, this should be light work, man, in my opinion. And the main thing you just got to watch out is with their offense. And if they could shut down Barkley, which I think they could, if we get another great linebacking performance from Ebony and Ivory again, we're going to be good money, man.
That's what you call them now?
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful watching them.
You can go Ebony Ivory. You can go Yin and Yang. You can go Dairy Queen ice cream twist cone.
There you go. There you go, man.
So,
that's it.
For me, defensively, the Cowboys have to stop Saquon Barkley. That is going to be their offense. I have him in fantasy, so it's like I'm going to be watching with my eyes closed because I want him to get off, but at the same time, I don't want to lose. Leighton Van Der Esch's going to have his hands full, and I think we're going to see a lot of Lewis this game. You remember that game against the Saints last year whenever Lewis was covering Alvin Kamara, and he did a solid job of him coming out the backfield and making sure tackles and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I think it's going to – go ahead.
Oh, that performance was incredible. I just want to go back and watch it again. That was a work of art.
That really was. Defensively, it really was. And you got to love Jason Richard, man, because he knows how to put a game plan together. But I think that Lewis is going to get a lot of playing time, especially with Byron Jones, not being healthy. He hasn't done anything in preseason, so it's going to be his first game back also. But Leighton Vander Esch has to be a sure tackler because, Jalen Smith's going to do most of the blitzing duties and covering the field like a land shark. But it's going to be on Leighton Vander Esch to make things happen. Offensively, Zeke should be a gimmick. They should just use him as a decoy. They should be hitting play action, and they should be just toasting the secondary of the Giants with Gallup, Cobb, Tavon Austin, and Amari Cooper. Nobody on the Giants can cover Amari Cooper. They're probably going to have to double him, which is going to leave Gallup pretty much one-on-one. And Gallup has improved from last year to this year from what I've seen thus far. It's only preseason. I get it. But at the same time, he's looked really, really good. And
he looked so good last year, man.
He really did.
And dude, I just want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Can you imagine how many times was he overthrown or underthrown?
By Dak.
Can you imagine if that was on the money? He would have had, a rookie season for the ages.
He really would. Probably more close to like 800-900 yards, about 6-7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot. And, hey, one more thing, too.
Go ahead.
What you probably know, Golden Tate isn't playing with the Giants.
No, he's out the first 4 games, yes.
Okay, so, who's it going to be? Shepard? That's it?
Yeah, basically Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram.
Not be close, bro. I want a 3-and-out to start the game for them. I'm saying.
My final score is going to be – it should be a blowout, but I think it's going to be closer, and I think it's going to be 27-17. That's my final score.
27. Okay, I'll take that.
So you got 24-17. I got 27-17, right?
Yeah. Look, man, if I don't see their defense using oxygen masks by the third quarter, we should just be wearing them out with the run game, bro. This should be
a pretty.
Hey, and you want to hear something funny? Being I'm over here, so I'm in New York today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm listening to over here is WFAN 101.9. So they had on the Joe and Evan show, they had the Giants beat writer Paul Dottino calling. And I'm just telling you right now because I couldn't even believe it. And this isn't even me being a Cowboys fan. He's saying that the Giants are going to be good. They're going to make the playoffs this year. And he also said, week 1, they're going to beat the Cowboys like 34-27.
There's no way the Giants make the playoffs. There's just no way.
Oh, I'm saying, but talk about drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's some real sweet Kool-Aid. That's the Kool-Aid that you pour the sugar into the pitcher, and you don't pay no attention to how much sugar is going in. You just keep pouring, and then
I couldn't believe it when I was hearing this today. I was like, at first I thought it was a joke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
There's just no way that the the Giants make the playoffs. That's my personal opinion.
No way.
Any last remarks before I cut you off and move on to my next portion of the show?
Yeah, real quick. I think Packers with the upset tonight.
Oh, yeah, let's just quick talk about the game tonight. Packers, Bears. I don't believe it's an upset. Actually, I don't want to spoil it, but I'll tell you later. But I believe that this is going to be a big year for Green Bay.
Yeah, they had a lot of holes. I just think
they filled a lot of those on defense.
I think the Bears are a little overrated from what they did last year.
I agree. We agree with that.
Just mop up. And I think Aaron Jones gonna have a big game.
Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
I think Deontay Adams and Aaron Rodgers are going to have a crazy game. And this defense that they paid all this money for and invested all them draft picks in is going to be better than advertised. And I'm just not a believer in Mitch Trubisky. I like their coach. I think losing Jordan Howard is going to cost him a little bit. I'm not really a big believer in the receivers. I do like Allen Robinson, but at the same time, I think their defense is good, but I think they get exposed tonight. We saw how Aaron Rodgers on a gimpy leg brought them back in the fourth quarter with 3 touchdown passes, last year. So, I just believe that this is going to be the Packers' year. They've had a down spiral, and they've had a lot of injuries, and I believe that if they can stay healthy, they're definitely one of the best teams in the NFL, not the NFC, the NFL.
No doubt.
All right,
man. We will connect next week.
We will definitely connect next week. I'm pretty sure we'll be connected all Sunday, going back and forth.
Yeah, I'll be annoying you first.
Yeah, I already know the first mistake. I'm going to have a text.
Season's over.
Season's over. Oh, I can't stand the Cowboys. They don't know how to make offensive play calls.
Hey, real quick. Guess what? You ain't get that this year because we get a consolation prize, bro. We lose the coach. So I'm all good. It's a win-win this year.
It is not. This is an all-in year. It's really, for a lot of people, Super Bowl or bust. If I can get to NFC Championship, I'll be happy. But more than likely, it's Super Bowl or bust for the Cowboys this year, man. Like they can't have a losing record. I mean, it'll be good to get rid of Jason Garrett for sure because I think a lot of people in the media and Cowboys fans around are just not a big fan of Jason Garrett at all.
No doubt.
All right, man. Well, I will catch you next week on Thursday to recap the Giants game and preview the Redskins game. And we'll just keep it popping like that. I always appreciate you, Evo.
No doubt, man.
All right, that's the advocate for you guys. We're going to be moving on to my next segment after I take a quick break. You listen to DK's Take on MavRadio.fm. And welcome back to DK's Take. DK Kellum here on the mic talking our preview for the NFL season. Just had a segment with the advocate, Avo New Jersey, out there in New York. He's a huge Cowboys fan. And, just doing our thing out here, just loving what we do here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha with Mav Radio. And I got my guy. I went to high school, middle school, elementary school with this guy, Kinney Herrera. How you doing, Kenny?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. It's good to have you on, man. Talk about this NFL season. First, we're going to get started off with our season predictions. We're going to do each division winner. We're going to give our 2 wild cards, our seeds, and then we're going to give you a breakdown of who wins the Super Bowl. So I'll guide you. I'll tell you what division, what wild cards, and so, and then I'll rebuttal with what I have to say. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right. Hold on one second. And Frank, appreciate it, bro. I see you doing your thing out there, too. All right. So, NFC East, who you got winning it?
There's only one team to win that division, especially after the signing. I'm going with the Cowboys.
No, we're going NFC first, so I'm backwards. So NFC East. You got the Cowboys winning NFC East?
Yes.
I have the Eagles winning the NFC East. Just as long as Carson Wentz stays healthy, the Cowboys' first place schedule, I think the Eagles are going to win. NFC North.
NFC North, I'm going with the Vikings.
And I'm going with the Packers. I think this is the Packers' rebound year. The Packers have invested a lot of money in draft picks and on defense. Invest a lot of money in draft picks and free agents, and I think that defensively they're going to be a lot better. I mean, that's really what Aaron Rodgers Aaron Rodgers needs. Before then, when they had Charles Woodson and all those guys, they went to the ship. So I really feel like the Packers, this is their year. NFC South.
NFC South.
It's always I think that's the toughest division to gauge in the NFL this year.
Who are you going with?
Marvin says the Saints. I'm going with the Falcons winning the NFC South. I'm going with the Falcons. I had them winning it last year. The injury bug destroyed that team last year. I like what this team brings to the table. The Super Bowl hangover, that's usually a thing always with the Super Bowl loser. I actually think the Saints are not going to make the playoffs this year. Marvin, sorry. That whole pass interference thing, I think that's going to bother them for the whole year. But I'm going Falcons. Who you got?
Yeah, I don't think the Saints can recover from that play that happened last year. I think it's going to be in the back of their head the entire season. And I'm going to go with Carolina.
Carolina, good pick.
Yeah.
NFC West, who you got?
The West, I'm going with Seattle.
Ooh, that's a pick like that. I was thinking about going Seattle. I like Seattle, but instead I'm going to go with the Rams to repeat. I just think they have too much talent. Now that they got Cooper Kupp back, I think if they can stay healthy, and they did a pretty solid job last year staying healthy, I think they should be able to win this division.
All right.
Who you got for your 2 wild cards?
I'm going to have the Eagles
Mm-hmm.
and the Rams.
And I'm going to have the Cowboys and the Panthers. So do you have your seeds locked in on what number seeds?
Yes.
All right, so your number 1, give me your number 1 through 6 seed.
The 1, I'm going to go with Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going with Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to go Carolina. And then the 4
Would be your
Minnesota.
Vikings. Yeah, be your Vikings.
Minnesota. Yeah.
And who's the 5 and 6 seed?
5 is going to be the Rams, and the 6 is going to be the Eagles.
All right, so for me, I'm going with Packers number 1 seed, Eagles number 2 seed, Rams number 3, Falcons number 4, Cowboys number 5, Panthers number 6. So do you have your wild card matchups?
So it'd be the Rams going to Minnesota.
Rams going to Minnesota, and who you got winning?
Rams.
And then for your other one?
It's going to be going to Carolina.
It'd be the who you got?
Eagles going to Carolina. I got Carolina winning that game.
Okay, I got the Panthers going to LA, beating the Rams, and I have the Cowboys going to Atlanta, beating the Falcons. So going over to your division, who you got?
So I got Dallas winning and Seattle winning.
I got the Cowboys over the Eagles and the Packers over the Panthers in the divisional round. So the NFC Championship game.
I'm going to have so Seattle's going to Dallas again. I'll have Dallas winning a very close game.
So you're going to pick Dallas to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that means you're a homer then, right?
I don't always do that. But
I got the Cowboys losing to the Packers in the NFC Championship and the Packers going to the Super Bowl.
the window for the Cowboys
It's now.
Yes.
I agree. I feel like they need, if they're going to win it, this would be the year to win it. I totally agree.
What is the window? The next 3 years, you think?
I give it two. I give it this year and next year. I think they'll be able to keep the team together for the most part for the next 2 years. But when Lathan Van Der Esch and Michael Gallup come up, they're going to be expensive, and they're already going to be stretched really thin financially. So I think this year and next year is the years to make it.
The offensive line signed till what, 2022, 23?
I think that they're going to eventually have to go to Travis Frederick and get him to take a pay cut. That's what I think it's going to have to be because you got three guys making top lineman money for their position, and I think pay cuts going to have to be taken. I mean, they're all 28. The top three guys in Tyron Smith, Travis Fredericks, and not Collins. It's Zach Martin. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, so moving over to the AFC East, who you got winning?
The Dolphins. No, I'm kidding. Patriots, by far.
Yeah, so do I. AFC North, Patriots for the AFC East, AFC North.
AFC North. I'm going with the Browns.
I'm actually going with the Browns too.
Which is crazy because later on, the Browns are going to come up again.
For me, it was hard. I wanted to pick the Steelers to win that division, but as I started looking to the schedule, I just feel like the Browns have the easiest winnable schedule in that division. And this division is going to be tough. Defensively, it's going to be cold. The running game is going to be big, and I honestly feel that once they get Kareem Hunt back, that running game is going to be legit. To go along with Nick Chubb, I think running the ball in the cold weather with some good defense, I think the Browns are going to win that division.
I think what people are not looking at about the Browns is their defense. I think it's going to be a lot better than a lot of people think, and everybody's so focused on the accusation of Odell Beckham and their offense and putting up points, but they play good defense over there.
Marvin said he wants to say Cleveland, but he don't know about the personalities. Then Marcus says, don't sleep on Chubb. I like Chubb, but once Kareem Hunt comes back, Chubb's going to be struggling to get carries. There is a lot of ego out there, Marvin. I totally agree, but I feel like offensively they probably have the most talent in the NFL. And defensively, where they lack at is linebacker. That's going to be where they lack the most. But their secondary and their defensive line is going to be really good. It's going to be interesting to see, and I think it's a down year for the AFC North. But we'll see. Moving over to the AFC South, who you got?
The South, the Texans.
I got the Colts. Even though Andrew Luck retired, I still got the Colts winning it for some odd reason, and I based that off of just looking at the schedule. I want to say the Texans. I just think the Texans just lost too much defensively. I can't get with the Texans. I think they have the best quarterback. They have the best left tackle. They have the best pass rusher in the division. They got the best receiver in the division. but I still just think that it's just not going to be good enough. And I think there's
The Colts have a good defense also. We're talking about defense.
mm-hmm.
So.
They got some
But I
good,
think
they got some
that-
good weapons too.
I think getting Duke Johnson is going to help the Texans.
AFC West. I think this is easy.
Chargers?
You got the Chargers win the AFC West.
No, I got to go with the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be close again. It is.
Marcus said Texas run game is going to be weak. I think it'll be decent. I got the Chiefs winning the AFC West also. So give me your 2 wild cards.
Chargers?
And?
The Ravens.
I have the Chargers and the Steelers as my wild cards. So give me 1 through 6. Seed them up.
The 1 seed, the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 seed, the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
The 3, the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
4, the Texans.
Give me your 5.
Chargers.
Go ahead.
Chargers 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens 6th.
I got the Patriots with number 1 seed. That's automatic 6 wins basically in their division, even though the Dolphins always find a way to beat them, but I doubt that happens this year. Chiefs, the number 2 seed. The Colts, number 3 seed. Browns, number 4. Chargers, number 5. Steelers, number 6. So going into your wild card week, what you got?
So I got the Chargers going to the Ravens
Mm-hmm.
and winning that game. No, Chargers going to Houston and winning that game.
Okay.
And then I got the Ravens going to Cleveland and Cleveland winning that game.
All right, I'll give you mine real quick. Any of you guys that are watching, if y'all ever want to come on to the show and talk some football, feel free. I do not mind having as many callers as possible. Just hit me up in my DM or message me, text me. Y'all know how to get a hold of me. I'll be more than happy to have you on the show, so just let me know. For a wild card for me, I'm going to go Chargers over the Colts and the Browns with a divisional rematch over the Steelers going into the divisional round.
What's that?
The divisional round. What you got in the divisional round?
The divisional round, we got the Chargers going to New England, and I have the upset.
Oh, okay.
I think Phillip Rivers,
Gets over the hump.
and I think he does this time.
Does Melvin Gordon come back before the end of the year, though?
I want to say yes, but after last year with Le'Veon Bell actually sitting out the entire year, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
For some reason. I mean, and they're not even talking or anything.
They canceled all contract talks.
I don't know why they don't have him in there, why they haven't talked to him. I don't know what their management's thinking.
Marcus just said Chargers have a gang of weapons for Rivers finally. Yeah, they still got some weapons. They lost Tyrell Williams. They don't have Melvin Gordon. I think Eckler can get the job done. They're going to get Hunter Henry back. So I believe they're going to be solid on offense and on defense. But the only bad thing is Derwin James is hurt for like the first 6 to 8 weeks.
They got Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, they got speedy Travis Benjamin. I mean, we'll see. Who's your other game? The Chiefs game. What you got?
The Chiefs is winning that game.
Okay, who you got it over? The Browns, right?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead.
Everybody in Cleveland's happy they get one playoff win, but they're not going to get two. Then I have the Chiefs beating the Chargers in a real close game.
And you got the Chiefs going to Super Bowl against the Cowboys.
Yes.
Marcus said those 2 running backs will take Gordon's production. We'll see, Marcus. Mr. M. Frank, I don't know. Melvin Gordon's pretty special. I think he's a really good back. He's not great, but I think he's a really good back. Even though James Conner did a great job filling in for Le'Veon Bell, he still wasn't Le'Veon Bell. And I think it's going to be the same way there in L.A. for the Chargers. For me, in my divisional round, I got the Patriots over the Chargers and the Chiefs over the Browns. And then in the ship, a rematch, but this time in Foxborough, I got the Chiefs over the Patriots, a face-off against the Packers in the Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl pick. You have the Cowboys and Chiefs. Who wins the Super Bowl?
Kansas City.
Kansas City wins the Super Bowl, and Andy Reid finally gets his first ring.
Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't looking at this the Chiefs getting Shady McCoy. I think that's going to be a big difference.
I
this
think
year.
it's a huge difference. And Nicole Hardman, the receiver they drafted from Georgia, who's another speed demon. I'm sure Andy Reid's, making plays for. Then you have Frank Clark at defensive end. Then you add the Honey Badger at safety. I mean, I really feel like this team defensively is way better than last year. And I feel like offensively they added another weapon in the rookie and Shady. I mean, I think this team is – and people don't fail to realize Shady played with the Bills, who's not near as good as the Chiefs, and Shady's not going to be the vocal point of the offense. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shady could probably hit a grand. And like M. Frank just said, the defense is way better this year. They have studs on defense. They're going to be able to get to the passer, but they're also going to be able to cover, in pass defense. They were one of the last teams in pass defense last year. They were high in the sacks, but, when you have, Mahomes and all those weapons on offense, they're going to score points. So a lot of the teams that they play against are playing from behind, and they have to start passing the football. So I got the Chiefs beating the Packers in the Super Bowl. I think Andy Reid finally gets his first ring. I think that Mahomes is a stud. He won't have the same year as he did last year, but I still think the Chiefs win it all. So moving on to the next part, I'm going to give you the most overrated team, the most underrated team, your sleeper playoff pick, and your number one draft pick. Hold on one second. John, I got Bengals over Dolphins for number one pick. I hear you, John. I hear you. So moving over to the most overrated team in the NFL this year. Who's your most overrated team?
So I mentioned earlier that they're going to come back up again, and until we see something, the most overrated team for me, even though I picked them to win the division, the Browns.
The Browns are the most overrated team.
Yeah.
My most overrated team is the Bears. As I was talking to Avo beforehand, I like what the Bears have, but I don't believe in Mitch Trubisky. I love their coach, but I think that losing Jordan Howard is going to be kind of big for them. I'm not a big believer in their receivers, and I think the defense played exceptionally well last year. I don't think they can have a repeat year of what they did last year. Caleb says the Browns are overrated. Marcus Franklin Frank also believes with me that the Browns are overrated. Give me your most underrated team.
The most, I think, looking at it right now, nobody's talking a lot about the Steelers. You mentioned them, but you just haven't heard a lot from them. With losing Le'Veon Bell, they lost Antonio Brown.
It's about to be lost again.
So I think I'm going to go with the Steelers.
M. Frank says the Chargers underrated. Caleb says that the Steelers are the most – he's a Steelers fan, of course. He's going to say the Steelers are the most underrated team. I do have the Steelers going to the playoffs. My most underrated team is the Panthers. And this is only with the exception of Cam Newton. If Cam Newton is healthy, I think that the Panthers are definitely a problem, and they have a really, really soft schedule this year, being one of the worst records last year. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be amazing again this year.
He's a game changer.
Yeah, he's a game changer. He's put on about 15 pounds in muscle. I mean, you saw what he did last year. Even when Cam was out, he's one of the top running backs in the league. The guy can catch the ball at the backfield. He can run between the tackles, run to the outside. The guy is really good. Caleb says Cam Newton's overrated. Nathan says Detroit is his underrated team. John says the Ravens are his underrated team. Cam would definitely make or break the Panthers this year. If he can stay healthy, he's good to go. Your sleeper pick for the playoffs, and mine is off the chain. What's yours?
My sleeper pick for the playoffs. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Atlanta's your sleeper pick.
Yeah.
My sleeper pick, and you're not going to believe this, the Bills are my sleeper pick to make the playoffs.
The Bills, huh?
I kind of like the core of what the Bills have. It really falls on the quarterback play of Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's solid. When he
he's
came in,
going to be way better this year.
I think he's going to be way better than he was last year. I think he was good last year whenever he got a chance to play. John was about to say the Bills. I totally agree. M. Frank says the Colts. What else we got? Cam over it. They're having a debate about Cam. Here we go. But I like what the Bills got. I just think they're playing the weak conference in the AFC. I mean, the weak division, the AFC East. I think that the AFC is not as strong as the NFC, so a team can slip up. And they can split games with New England and beat the Jets and beat the Dolphins twice. You know what I'm saying? And that gives them 5 wins. I mean, they have to win 4 or 5 more games to slip in, and they're not going to have a first-place schedule because they was third place, I think, in the division last year. So the schedule is going to be favorable. So I'm going with the Bills, man. I think they have I think there's a sleeper, somebody that no one's really talking about.
Well,
appreciate it, Black. I thank you. Go ahead.
I like that. I really do. That's a good pick. And like you said, that they got the Dolphins twice. They got the Jets twice. We don't know what the Jets are going to be like with Le'Veon Bell at running back.
I do believe the Jets are going to be better than last year. I think if you were to go bet Vegas-wise, I think that you should go put your money on the bets to be the over. Number 1 pick in the draft this year.
Dolphins.
Me too. Dolphins, tank for Tua. Obviously, they're giving away all the players, and they're stocking up on draft picks. So I believe it's going to be Dolphins. Let me just hit the chat real quick. Just for you guys who don't know, I'm here, DK Kellum here in University of Nebraska at Omaha, mavradio.fm doing my show, DK's Take. I'm also on Facebook Live, so if you hear me talking to other people, it's actually people in the chat, so I'm communicating with the chat. I got Kinney Herrera on with me right now. Kinney Herrera, a legend offensive lineman for the Belton Tigers, my guy. Been friends with this guy for probably over 20, 25 years. Real good dude, knows his football. Just going to hit the chat real quick. John says that the Bills don't have big names, but they have good talent. Nathan says if anyone's a sleeper, it's Arizona. And I think Brissett is going to surprise people. I believe so. Too, Caleb, I picked the Colts to win the division. Last, hey, hold on, M. Frank. Don't be hating on the Belton Tigers because you're a Temple Wildcat now. If you don't know about the Belton Temple rivalry, then you don't know football. Go ahead. What you going to say?
Yeah, you're right.
Moving on to the last part of this segment, before we go into our predictions for Week 1, we're going to go to the MVP of the league. Who's going to win MVP this year?
I'm going to go with I want to go with McCaffrey so bad, but running backs don't win it very often.
Unless you're Adrian Peterson and rush for over 2,000 yards.
I'm going to go with Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, your MVP.
Yeah.
Chat, let me know what y'all think y'all MVP is going to be. I picked the Packers to go to Super Bowl. I picked the Packers to have a great bounce-back season. So I'm picking Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year. So far, we got Mahomes again. We got Saquon winning the MVP. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. Offensive Player of the Year.
This time I'll go with McCaffrey.
I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley as offensive MVP. He's going to have every opportunity to win the offensive MVP/MVP. He's going to get the ball. He's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of those Zeke years for Saquon Barkley. He's going to have over 300 touches. They don't have enough weapons on offense. I think that I can't say that on radio, Nathan. Nathan says to heck with the Green Bay Packers to keep it PG. Let's see. John says Drew Brees for MVP. Mark M. Frank says Zeke for MVP. But I think Saquon Barkley's going to have every opportunity. Defensive Player of the Year. Before we go to Defensive Player of the Year, we're at the top of the hour. We got to pay the bills. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to KVNO 90.7 HD2 Omaha. Power with Mav Radio.
And we are back after that quick break, and we're back to Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you have?
My Defensive Player of the Year is going to be, I'm going to go with Jalen Smith.
Wow, I kind of like that. He was Defensive Player of the Year. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think he's fully back from that knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
And And I think this year he's going to show that he's one of the best defensive players in the league and that the Cowboys got a bargain.
I believe they got a bargain too. If you look at Miles Jack's contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's making way more money than Jalen Smith, and he has not been to a Pro Bowl yet. Appreciate it, M. Frank, man. Thank you for tuning into my show. I totally support everything you do also, man, with your photography and everything. If y'all need some dope pictures or anything like that, holler at my boy M. Frank, for sure.
Sure.
Moving over to offensive player of the offensive rookie. Oh, my defensive player of the year. My bad. Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack, whenever he played last year, he just balled out. I mean, and I think it's going to be another year. I think he's unblockable. Super dope. Let's move on to offensive player of the year. Let me hit the chat real quick. Aaron Donald, whatnot. You can barely hear him, Nathan. My bad, bro. You know Kinney talks softly and stuff like that. Moving over to offensive player, rookie of the year. Who you got?
Kyler Murray.
So do I. He's starting week 1. He's a quarterback. He's going to have every opportunity to win offensive rookie of the year. Kyler Murray. Defensive player of the year. Defensive rookie of the year.
This one is a little more tough, but I think the guy that went to Oakland from Clemson, Farrell, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. I think he's going to –
Not Colin Farrell. What team you say?
Oakland.
Oakland.
It's Farrell.
It's Farrell, but I'm trying to figure out his first name, though. Is it like Keelan?
It's kind of like Colin, but it's
yeah,
not.
Yeah. But I think it's like Cleveland or something like that.
Yeah,
Farrell, but he was the
Farrell or something.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna ball out there in Oakland.
Hold on, do I got you in there, Kenny? So I can't even. I think because my headset is on is the reason why he can't hear you. Talk real quick, Kenny.
You got me?
Yeah, I think I got you now. So I can't listen to my voice. So let me take these headphones off because people want to hear you. There we go. The linebacker safety for the Raiders, M. Frank says, that is old buddy from Mississippi State who was on Hard Knocks having the show. What's his name? Jonathan Joseph is his name. Caleb says Devin Bush for defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, I like Devin Bush.
I like Devin Bush too. I think he's a stud. He's super fast. I'm going to go, since I picked the Bills to be my sleeper team, I'm going to go with Ed Oliver as my defensive rookie of the year. I believe he can be somewhat of another Aaron Donald type player. He's super athletic. He's super strong. He's going to be playing, I think they're going to be running a 4-3 this year, so he'll probably be playing more like the 4 technique over on the outside of the offensive guard. I think he has an opportunity to have a huge year this year.
I like that, yeah. I think if they can get him motivated and reach his max potential, he's going to be a good one.
All right, so just gonna go over everything real quick, and before we go into our week 1 predictions, me and Kinney Herrera, and I gotta get a pen so I can write all this stuff down because we're gonna keep track every week, and we're gonna come out with the overall at the end of the year and in each week. But for everyone listening up, man, if you ever want to come on the show, just let me know. Give me a DM, shoot me a text, whatever. I'd be more than happy to have you on, man. We can talk football. Everyone loves football. This is an open forum to speak your mind. As long as you come here and keep it rated PG. This is college radio, so we can't have you dropping, them bombs and stuff like that. But if you want to just talk football, we're all good to go. So moving on to week 1. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, the 100th anniversary, the longest rivalry in NFL history, the Packers and the Bears. And I want you to tell me who you got and give me your reason why as I go get a pen and paper so I can write down your picks. Packers, Bears, who you got?
Bears.
Why?
The Bears, the new coach in Green Bay, new offense, everything like that. I think the defense, the Bears, Khalil Mack takes over the game, and the Bears win by 3.
All right, for me, I got the Packers. I'm Hold on. You want to try next time, Nate? I'll bring you on, Nate. We'll do like a little recap of the week, and I'll make sure I bring on Kenny to do his predictions. And whenever he can't come on, then we'll have whoever. It doesn't matter. But Kenny's my number one guy. He's been on it with me since last year. All right, so I got the Packers over the Bears. I
We
think.
thinking of the same Nate?
Go ahead.
We thinking of the same Nate?
What are you talking about? You talking to me? Kenny. You there, Kenny? I think I lost Kenny. All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, there he goes. You there? Kenny. All right. So we'll get Kenny back. Hold on 1 second. You there, Kenny?
You got me? Yeah, I'm there.
All right. Talk to me real quick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, good. All right, so I got the Packers over the Bears. We saw how that game went last year. Whenever, the Bears came out dominating the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is hurt, and he, on one leg, basically wills the Packers to come back and beat them. I got the Packers over the Bears. So let me write that down for you. Kenny, Bears. Browns and Titans, who you got?
Browns.
Why?
I think the Browns are. I think they're ready. They've been hyped up all off season, all training camp, and I just think they go out there and show what they got. The Titans, you just never know what you're getting with the Titans. They're one of the most. I think they're one of the most inconsistent teams in the NFL.
M. Frank says, what does the Packers coach do? Really, I don't even think it's what the Packers coach does. I think it's more of what Aaron Rodgers is going to want to do. That's what I believe.
He might not do nothing. He might be the highest paid guy for doing nothing.
For doing nothing, because Aaron Rodgers is going to run that offense. Going back to the Browns and Titans, I got the Browns over the Titans. As you said, I think the Titans are one of the most Jekyll Hyde teams in the NFL. You just don't know what you're going to get with them. You don't know what you're going to get with Mariota. I think they have some talent, but I think it's going to be the Browns to win that one. Ravens, Dolphins, I think that's easy.
Ravens.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to say anything about that game. Ravens over Miami. Miami just don't have the talent. Falcons, Vikings, I think that has to be one of the games of the week.
Excuse me.
I'm pretty sure Nate going to say Vikings.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to also.
So you got Ravens. You got Vikings. I have the Falcons over the Vikings. I think that the Falcons are one of my playoff teams to win the division. I'm going to say the Falcons are going to start off the year just right and beat the Vikings. Go ahead.
This is make or break year for Kirk Cousins, I think.
Oh, it has to be. Well, I mean, he has a guaranteed contract for 3 years, so I don't think it's a make or break. I think next year is. This is going to be the second year of his fully guaranteed contract, so he's going to be there all 3 years. So I think next year is a make or break for him.
What does Nate think about him?
Nathan, Kenny wants to know what you think about golly, what's his name? Kirk Cousins. Sorry. What do you think about Kirk Cousins, Nathan? That's what Kenny wants to know. Bills, Jets.
Bills.
All right. I also have the Bills over the Jets.
And I'm going to say because of the improvement from Josh Allen that we'll see, I think he might be one of the most improved players.
I think he probably one of the most improved players. Also, I got the Bills.
They got some sneaky weapons over there now.
They really do. They have talent over there. It's just not the names that you hear on a consistent basis. That's what it is. That's why a lot of people are down on the Bills. But I'm kind of high on the Bills, and they're in the AFC East.
And he's got a little security blanket now. We know who he is.
Little Cole Beasley, whatever. Yeah. Little measly Beasley.
Yeah. He's going to be open for those 4 or 5 yards, games. So he'll have somebody to dump the ball off to.
I got the Bills over the Jets. I think it's going to be probably one of the most competitive games of the weekend. I think both of these teams are out to try to prove a point. I just think this is going to be a really good game. I really do believe it's going to be a good game. Kirkle, you're late, and you say that the Chiefs win the West. We already went over that, and we both agreed to that. My cousin Dustin, he says that Cowboys. Well, of course, we're all from Texas, so definitely Cowboys. Moving over to Eagles, Redskins. Who you got? Kirkle, if you're on campus, come in the studio. You can get in there.
Eagles.
Eagles over Skins. I also have the Eagles over Skins. Let me write that down for you. Panthers, Rams.
Whew.
I think that's going to be a good game, too. I just don't know the condition that Cam Newton is in right now.
Yeah, where's that game at? L.A.?
I'm not sure. I'll check for you real quick. Hold on. I got like a whole bunch of different things on my laptop going right now. They are playing at Carolina.
At Carolina?
Mm-hmm. And Frank has no faith in Cam no more. As you're thinking about that, I'm about to read you what Nathan just told me.
I'm gonna go with Rams by 3.
Rams by 3. I got
because of the injury.
If I don't know the situation with Cam, but I did pick the Panthers to win this game over the Rams. It might be a long shot, probably, but I'm going to stick with what I wrote down. Real quick, what Nathan said. By the way, Nate, if you don't know Nathan Nolan, a childhood friend of mine too, a Belton Tigers legend at tight end. Don't hate him, Frank, on them Tigers. Our season will depend entirely on health. The zone run is perfect for Dalvin. Kirk won't have to do much if the defense does what they're capable of doing. That's from Nathan.
I do like Dalvin Cook this year, though.
Yeah, I wanted to draft him in my fantasy, but I kind of stayed away from him. I'm just not high on the Vikings this year.
His injury is what worries me.
Real quick, Tim Schellenberger joined in. Just want to throw a shout out to Tim. He got me this jersey a couple years ago, back when Dez Bryant did play for the Cowboys. But I'm still going to sport it because, I'm a super Cowboys fan. But big shout out to Tim Schellenberger, one of my good friends, man. Appreciate you getting me this jersey right here. I wear it to every show. Who was the last one? Oh, we got Chiefs and Jaguars, which I think could be an underrated game for this week. And I'm pretty sure Jalen Ramsey has a lot to prove with his contract year coming up.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs over Rams. Chiefs over the Jags. I have the Chiefs over the Jags also. And Colts, Chargers.
Chargers.
I have the Colts with the upset. Emotionally, they're going to be so ready for this game. They're going to be jacked up. Let me see where they're playing at real quick. Especially if they're playing in Indy, Colts got this. No, they're playing in the Chargers Stadium, but it's like an away game for the Chargers because nobody goes to the Papa John's Stadium to watch the Chargers play. It's like a high school field. I think our high school stadium was bigger than Papa John's Stadium, honestly. I have the Colts over the Chargers, though. Let me write yours down. You got the Chargers over the Colts. Let me write that down. Seahawks, Bengals.
Seahawks.
Hold on one second. You got the Seahawks over the Bengals. Big shout out to my boy Michael Ramirez. I love you, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. All the cats we all grew up with. I'm 33 years old. We're all in our 30s, man. We all grew up together, man. It's a pleasure having you on, supporting me. Kenny just said, "What up, Fat?" He's on the show with me. I got him on. What's up, Robert? Appreciate you joining. You said Seahawks over Bengals?
Yeah.
All right. I also have the Seahawks over the Bengals. Dallas Giants.
Dallas wins because of 21.
I got Dallas over the Giants. This should be definitely a good, easy win for them. Moving over to the Cardinals and Lions.
I'm going to go with, man, this is going to be a close game, but I think the Lions are going to pull it off.
Hey, real quick, since we got a lot of chatter in the chat, so if you guys want to join this pick 'em with us, me and Kenny are going to give our picks every week. I'm going to post them on my Twitter on it's DK's Taking Productions. I will post that somewhere in the link after I'm done with this show. If you guys want to give me your predictions for each week like we're doing, then tag me on Twitter. And or if you don't have Twitter, I guess tag me on Facebook with your picks, and I'll add them up every week, and we'll see who wins out for the whole year. Maybe a prize can go out to somebody. Maybe a Mav Radio T-shirt I can send to one of you guys for having the best percentage of picks each week. So if you want to do that, and I'll repeat that towards the end, but just throwing it out there. We're back Cardinals, Lions. Who you got?
The Lions.
All right, I got the Cardinals over the Lions. Next up, we're going to have Niners and Buccaneers.
I'm going to go with the 49ers.
And go ahead.
But that one's also going to be a close game because I think Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay is going to be – I think that's going to be good for Jameis Winston. And he's on his little contract year also.
What's good, Cuddy? B-Sub in the building. My cousin, Brian, Dustin, my other cousin, they brothers. We in the building. Family, showing family love. Really appreciate your support. I got the Niners over the Bucks. Sunday night football. And this is going to be a big one. Steelers, Patriots. I saw Jackie Schumer come in. She's a huge Patriots fan along with her daughter. I actually, just quick story, I lost a bet. Her daughter bet me that the Patriots would win the Super Bowl. So I bet her that if they did, I would buy her a meal at Texas Roadhouse. They ended up winning. She ended up going to the Patriots-Chiefs game, met Rex Burkhead. They did a big story on the news about it. And she got to meet Rex Burkhead at the hotel. She's a super Patriots fan, so a big shout-out to Jackie Schumer. JC is on, too. He's a Lions fan, but he's, with Jackie, and they're all Patriots fans, quote-unquote. But I told her daughter this year I would get a small Patriots tattoo if she would cut all her hair off if the Cowboys finish better than the Patriots this year in the playoffs. So I'm still up for that bet. Now going up, Steelers-Pats. Who you got, Kenny?
I have the Patriots.
You have P-Dot. Big shout out to P-Dot. He joined the chat. Omaha Beef, cornerback, Bismarck Bucks cornerback, defensive back, one of the coolest dudes I know out here doing his thing like everybody else, trying to make a living. Appreciate you joining in, bro. Steelers, Pats. I got the Steelers over the Pats in an upset. They're going to come out juiced up. No more AB, no more Le'Veon Bell. The Steelers, aren't going to do anything. And if you know anything about the Patriots start off slow every year. Just think about how KC came in and wiped the floor with them a couple years ago. I'm going with the Steelers. Monday Night Football, the first game, Texans Saints. Who you got?
Saints.
I got the Texans coming in with the upset over the Saints.
What?
On that. Yeah, I actually got the Texans. I think that the Saints are going to have a bad year. I think that whole pass interference thing is going to destroy this team this year. That's just my personal opinion, but we'll see. You got the Saints, right?
It's going to be hard to get over them.
I think it's going to be super hard to get over, but I got the Texans. Raiders, Broncos, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
And I'm going to go with the Raiders. I just think the Raiders just got more talent than the Broncos. I think people are underestimating the Raiders and their talent. So I'm going with the Raiders.
Hey, AB got suspended today.
He did get suspended. I think he's requesting a trade now, too, is what someone said in the chat, that he's requesting a trade. So
they said the Raiders are trying to avoid his guaranteed money.
Yeah, it's 30. I think it's $35 million on that. Quantel Rose in the chat. No one's sleeping on the 49ers, bro. No one. I picked the Niners over the Bucks. No one's sleeping on them. What is Jimmy G going to do, though? Is he going to stay healthy? That's the question. All right, with that being said, that is all of our picks. Thank you for everybody who joined the show. Just a recap, I did my Cowboys corner, talk about the Cowboys with the Avo. We did all of our picks for each division, wild card, Super Bowl picks all the way through. Our most overrated team, most underrated team, MVPs, Player of the Years, and Week 1 predictions. I will post all this stuff on my Twitter. I want to say my Twitter is at DK's Take Productions. Guys, if you guys want to post your picks for each week and you can stay on top of it, all you have to do is tag me on Twitter at DK's Take Productions. I will post it in the chat whenever I'm done. Or if you don't have Twitter, hit me up on Facebook, message me, text me. Just make sure I have it each week so I can keep everybody involved. And then at the end of this football season, I will give out a prize, probably a Mav Radio t-shirt, to the guy or girl that had the best picks for the whole year. Thank you guys very much, as I said, for tuning in. If you ever want to come on the show, let me know. I would love to have you on. Thank you, Avo. Thank you, Kinney, very much for coming on to the show and talking football. I will catch you guys all later. I missed it. Who you got for tonight's game? I got the Packers tonight, Tim. I got the Packers going to the Super Bowl and losing the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. We'll be at B-Dubs in Papillion, Tim, if you want to come down and meet us and watch the game. With that being said, love all you guys who tuned in on Facebook Live. Thank you very much, Kenny, to everybody who listened. You listen to DK's Take on mavradio.fm, and I'll catch y'all next week, Thursday, same time, same place, 4 o'clock Central. Love you guys, man. And I'm out. Peace out, Kenny.
All right, D.